What's up guys, it's Max. Sorry I haven't posted anything for 3 weeks because I'm in college now and I'm a big boy. And I keep forgetting I own a camera. But today I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna take a more serious route because I don't do that a lot. So today I'm gonna talk to you guys about my coming out story, which I think is really important for a lot of people to share because when you're coming out, you look for people who are just like you and you want to see how they went about it or how their family reacted. And I think it's really cool as an athlete that I get to share this because it's even harder for athletes to come out because you're thought of as like this stereotypical jock who you're supposed to like girls and you're supposed to be heterosexual and be super muscular and whatever. I knew I was gay in probably 4th grade, which seems really early, but it's not early for you to think you're straight in 4th grade. So I knew I liked boys. I had no interest in girls, and that was alright to me. But you can't come out in 4th grade, so I was just going through the motions, seeing what was gonna come of it. So in about 6th grade, I came out to 2 of my closest friends, and they were totally supportive of it, and I was like, wow, this is great. I want to tell a lot of people, but then I was like, you're in middle school, don't be stupid. So I went home, I came out to my mom, and she was very accepting, but I didn't come out as gay to my mom. I said I was bisexual because I still wanted her to think that there was a chance of her having grandchildren, grandchildren. So she was super accepting of me, but I was kind of shocked after I came out to her. I was like, wow, I'm 12 years old and this is kind of weird, but I have pictures of the Jonas Brothers hanging all over my room, so it shouldn't come as too much of a shock. So 6th to 7th grade, I was really uncomfortable with myself because I was like, oh God, what if people want to talk to me about it? Or my mom, what if she wants to talk to me about it? I'm not ready for that. So I would avoid going in car rides with her, and I got really close to my dad in those years. And I remember my mom coming up to me one night and saying, I'll start easing your dad into it. And I was like, easing him into what? She's like, I'll start dropping little hints. And I'm like, okay, cool. So like 6 months passed, we didn't talk about it or anything. And then my mom comes up to me and goes, Max. I was like, what, Mom? She goes, I dropped a hint to your dad. I'm like, okay, what'd you say? She said, Brent's my dad. Brent, I think Max is gay. My dad was like, no, he's not. So then in going into freshman year of high school, I dated girls, and that's when I really kind of like I was like, I don't want to be gay because people are going to start bullying me and thinking different of me, which I've been bullied through grade school. That's a normal thing. So I dated girls freshman year. I was talked about, oh, like he's dating this girl. I'm like, okay, yeah, I am, cool. And it wasn't until sophomore year where I was really like, this is stupid. Why am I trying to be something I'm not? And I was kind of like a big athlete at my school. So I put a lot of these pressures on myself that I was like, I need to live up to this stereotype of what a jock is. And I had a guy that I really liked, and we got super close, and we had a summer fling, and I was like, this is great. I have someone who finally understands what it's like. And then that ended really poorly, and him saying that he was straight, and it caused me a lot of heartbreak. And I was like, I don't want to be alive at this point. Like, if I can't even have this guy who I'd been best friends with for 2 years accept me, like, who besides my parents is gonna want to be friends with me? So I went into a really bad place for about a year that no one really knew about. 2 years ago, in August, I sat my brother down and I was just trembling. I was like, oh my God, my brother is one of my best friends. What if he doesn't love me? So I told him, I was like, hey Reed, I'm gay. His first reaction, he was like, oh, hell yeah, I won the bet. I was like, excuse me? You won the bet? So apparently there was a bet in my family of when I was gonna come out, when I thought I was doing a really good job of keeping my sexuality a secret. And then I had to tell my dad, who I was really nervous about just because he's your dad and he's your big macho manly authority in the house. And it was the same thing as my brother. He was super happy for me and he's like, I'll love you no matter what. And my mom was like, you need to tell your grandparents, and my grandparents are super, super conservative Republicans. After this whole trip of thinking about like, they're not gonna love me, all this sort of bullshit that I built up because I heard all these terrifying coming out stories, I finally sat them down and I told them, I'm like, guys, I'm gay. And the first thing my grandpa said to me was like, if you get AIDS, I'll kill you. But then he gave me like the biggest hug and he's like, I love you so much, nothing you can say or do will ever change that. And I just started like crying because the thought of like the person that I was most scared of coming out to was totally fine with it, was the most comforting thing ever. And then once I came out to them, I just told, like, if people asked, I wasn't gonna like hide it. So I told people asked, I answered, and I just started becoming super, super comfortable with myself. Something that 4 years before that, or even 2 years before that, the thought of telling someone that I was gay and then having to deal with their reaction was something that crippled me with fear. And I guess really my whole point of making this video is to share my story and to tell other people out there who are struggling with the same thing that basically all gay people struggle with, gays and lesbians. You figure out your sexuality. It's something that's kind of hard to come to terms with. Being an athlete has helped me through it because I can show that my sexuality isn't something that defines me. I can be gay and still be a really good diver, or I can still make people laugh, and that it's not a disease, it's not something you should be ashamed of. I'm proud to be gay. I'm proud to represent Purdue University. My teammates are great. All of them support me. It feels like having a giant family away from my family there to support me. I go back to these videos where I see a kid recording his coming out and his parents beating him, and it just breaks my heart because I know that that could have been me if I was born into a bad family. And I know a lot of gay people are born into bad families. But I guess overall what I'm trying to get at is you don't need to be ashamed of your sexuality. Nothing that you can say about being gay or lesbian is going to change that person. They're either going to accept you or they're not. And I think that's one of those things, because everyone has people that don't accept them, and if they're not going to accept you, then bye. We don't need you. You don't need that person in your life sending negative energy your way. For anyone out there that's questioning their sexuality, or as an athlete went through the same thing that I went through, I want to stress to you that it does get better, and even if you have people right now that are tearing you down, it's probably because they're insecure, and you need to know that you are able to overcome whatever adversity comes your way. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thank you for sitting through this kind of long video. I'll try to edit some of it out. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want me to do more things like this, click the thumbs up and subscribe, and if you don't leave me hate, because that'll make me sad. And like how I sign off every video, I will see you all next week. Goodbye, thank you.